Hi guys, thank you very much. Okay, so I would like to tell you a story about the journey of cutting out the design out of the learning world and learning industry. And first of all, I would like to tell you that we have to design. This way or another, we have to design, because if we don't, weird things can happen with the learning outcomes. And really weird things can happen. Of course, there is a situation in which, especially when you establish a learning organization, it works like this: oh, we'll just buy Captivate or Articulate or something, and let's start coding, and hey ho, let's deliver. We have a brand new, beautiful LMS. But then you can end up like this. So once again, from instructional design perspective, from design perspective, when we start this journey, we tend to have great plans and even greater promises of how the learning experience will look like. At the same time, all that our learners need is just a book and time to read it. So I will tell you what was my story of having this design. We all face the situations in which the design and the specification faces the budget. We all tend to have a situation in which we promise something, we start really great, and then we rush towards an end with the experience that we plan to deliver. Also, we face phenomenon. Do you know this phenomenon, the watermelon phenomenon? So I will just give you a brief introduction on what it is. It happens everywhere. It's global. And I think that this is something that for sure you can face in any organization you work for. From the bottom up, it's perfect. When you look from the perspective of the project itself, it's not so perfect. It's rather red and amber than green. So I just took all my health and mana that I have for learning, and I decided to review theories. What learning theories can we use? And then I just went to business, and they said, okay, we are lost. You are not delivering at all. We need a solution that we will understand. I said, okay, so out of those theories, there are a bunch of beautiful models, like Eddie, like Sam. They're awesome. But what the business said to me is, okay, those models are not precise. They work for exactly the topics where they were used or where they were quoted in those books. They are totally not connected with reality, and we are not getting the results that we want to. I said, okay, so maybe you have a wrong approach. Of course, they are wrong, not me. Come on. So I just started to draft. Sorry that it's in Polish, but I really think in Polish. Maybe one day I will think in a different language, but what I did, I just created a meta model. I just picked those models and created a meta model that I thought, okay, it will be easier. Guess what? That we're stuck. Okay, we try to eat what you serve, but we're stuck, totally. We don't know where we are not getting results. So I just had to decide that, okay, the simplification here is something that will help us. So I just picked a few of the words that business knows, like, needs, brief for marketing, persona, goal, mind mapping, some of the trend words that I think they will understand. I think that's cool. This will help me to deliver some kind of prototype that will be closer to what they need. And not bad. But what was the issue is that they needed my time to guide them through this process. I created templates, they were filling them in, etc. But when I was consulting, it was okay because I can charge them more. And that's cool. But when I left them, they said, you just have to go back and create a model that we'll be able to use on our own. So I will just give you an example of what we did. So Okay, thank you, PowerPoint. This is business goal, learning goal, map, and prototype. And when I just showed this, it was like, oh, it's so cute. Even though it's a picture from Dreams Time, because I haven't got time to find another one without this watermark. So it's cute, but what's inside? What's inside this model? Why this lamp is so cute? First of all, I've just implemented something that's called Learning Strategy Code. And what is this? It's an extremely simplistic tool. What we do there, I just ask a question. What is the problem? What is the real problem that you would like to solve? Is it the pink lamp? Maybe. And not getting them pink. But then how learning can help to solve it? I mean, people tend to think, okay, we want our employees to sell more. We want our salespeople to sell more. I said, okay, perfect. Just give them better price. It's not learning. Give them better cards so they will drive faster. It's not learning. So the first step is to find something that will help to solve this problem, but to help to solve this problem in the one specific flavor, right? And I'm not representing any big organization, so I can say problem. And if you do this, then just check what can be the expected behavior, right? So what is the, if you would just say to the business people, what's the definition of done, there was a, that is done. But if you just say, what is the expected result? And what I found out then in many cases, in really many cases, the problem was that we wanted people to behave in a different way. But knowing all the fancy theories, we say that, okay, just, behavioral learning, nah, it's not something that we want to have. Because, we have this all cognitive science, we have the social learning, we have all the buzzwords, we have gamification, storytelling, and whatever else idea you want to have. We are not teaching like, if you behave badly, we will just punish you, and if you'll do good, we will just give you a prize. But in many cases, the only thing that we can measure is the change in behavior, because we can see it, right? So then, new skills, different reaction, but first of all, expected result that you can see. And I'll just give you an example from my current job as a security awareness guy for a few months. What we try to do is to make people not to click phishing links. So we simulate it, right? So we phish our own people. I said, okay, it's bad. We're bad, but we are good at the same time because it's simulated. But what we did is like, I want to create some kind of emotions. Like, in corporate environment, you have only challenges, only opportunities, lack of emotions, because we are serious. We are a serious big company, so we are not having fun at work. We are serious. So what we did is like when you click a phishing link, it's like a big red sign. Oops, you've been phished. But calm down. It's a simulated phishing. Here you go. There is a video that you should watch. And people do this. And I will just tell you why I think that they do this. Because we focus on something that we can notice and measure. We focus on the fact that they will click the link, or they will click the button above that will say report it. And there is something that is called fog behavior model. And out of this, the whole short presentation I'm just giving, I would like you to focus on this. Just go to behaviormodel.org and you will find this and the whole explanation better than I will give you now. In many cases, when something is hard to do for people, for example, I don't know what the phishing is. I don't care. I totally don't care. The company is to protect me. They should filter this out. They should do whatever to keep me secure. But I'm totally not able to recognize what the phishing link is, right? What the phishing email is. At the same time, I don't have motivation. I just don't care. it's not my job to care about the phishing email. But when you will just get the simulated phishing email and you just get this information, whoops, you've been phished, maybe your ability to recognize phishing email will never go here, but for sure your motivation is higher not to get phished another time, because okay, it drives your emotions. Oh, I've been phished. I will just give you the example of what had happened when I just sent the internal communication. Do you have internal communication in your organizations? They're really smart people. And they just said to me, "Oh, you know what? When we send this message that oops, you've been phished, people may feel bad. Yeah, that's why we do this. Come on, we want to drive their emotion. We want to motivate them to do something different. For example, not click the phishing link." So what we did at the same time, we just combined this phishing email with learning materials in order to drive them somewhere here. And it's extremely simple, an extremely simple model, but it works. And to some extent, you can measure or at least show this result of the challenge that you were facing, and show the result of what you did in a way that is understandable by the business. And I think, and from my current experience, it just works. I know that this is simplistic. I know that simulating phishing is extremely simple thing to do. But even if when we send this round of phishing emails and there are 10 or 12 of them in a row, we tend to find that there are people that are like chronic clickers. They will click anything you will send them. Literally anything. But at the same time, we are all Christmas clickers. Yes, what I did, I just did an experiment. Before Christmas, I just sent an email. Of course, simulated phishing email. This is the best email that I can send. Saying that the FedEx guy is waiting downstairs and is waiting with a parcel. But you just have to click and check his number. Everyone clicked. Another thing is an email saying that someone has tagged you on Facebook. And if someone has tagged you on the picture and it's Monday morning and you know that the weekend was really good, you will click it. And then, then it's whoops, you've been phished, and you know the story, right? So then it's like repeating and repeating and repeating this simulated phishing, and repeating the same experience and repeating the same action helps, because people learn. They start to care. I think that their ability is moving slower to the right, but their motivation is much higher when they understand what we do expect. So, is there any secret sauce? From my perspective, and from my perspective working with different businesses as a consultant or working internally within companies, there is one thing that you can do is to build a good relation with the business or with them in order to find a proper way of them giving you the information on what the problem is, what the challenge is, what we really want to solve, not just pushing them through the meta model that we just crafted and because we are smart instructional designers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Piotr. Okay, guys, questions? No questions.
Yeah. So I just have to go back because your motivation needs to be lower than expected.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
At least one question. Come on. Maybe.
I have a question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Piotr.